Hi, I'm Sean with 3 Tone. In this video, I am going to show you a quick and easy startup for music Facebook ads. If you've run some Facebook ads or haven't run them at all, this is just going to be a quick and dirty setup guide to get started with not a whole lot of money. So let's get going. Let's just get going here. So we're going to click on create here. Create. All right. And what we're going to look for is leads because we want conversions. So we're going to go leads. This is what we want is conversions. Now this is going to require us to have had already set up an account with a landing page service. I use ToneDen. Link to ToneDen or setting up an account will be in the description. And then 2, you're going to need to have set up a Facebook pixel and have connected it to ToneDen. Full video on both of those subjects in the description. Once you get that set up, come back to this video, click on leads, go so we can get conversions. Okay, this is new leads campaign. So we're gonna name it test campaign. Boom. And the way I usually structure it, so like I run ads for clients, my individual songs and playlists. So my naming convention, just so it helps me kind of keep things organized. Say if I'm promoting a song, I put song in brackets so I can go to the search bar and just find all the things. Sorry, my volume was up. I can find all the songs that I'm running ads on. So this is going to be a test and it's going to be a campaign. So categories, we are not in any of these specified categories, so we can ignore that. Now, if you were to run A/B tests, I usually run A/B tests without clicking on this A/B test. I feel like it just gets a little messy for me, but that's a personal preference. So we are going to next. We're going to go test. And we're going to go Spotify, electronic, because these are going to be the audiences we're targeting. And then we're going to start with high cost countries. I'm going to show you, this will make sense in a second. I'm going to show you how I set them up again for my own personal organization. So we're going to maximize the number of conversions. And then for me, it is going to be my Toast Artist Pixel. That's my artist name. And my conversion event is going to be view content because that, again, is what we are maximizing. So when someone clicks on your ad, lands on your landing page, the moment they click on a link on that landing page, taking them to Spotify, that is considered a view content event. And so that is what we are maximizing our budget for. Cost per goal, I usually just leave that as it. Daily budget. Now, if you're just starting out, I would just say do $1 a day. This is how I started running Facebook ads, and this is how I learned without having too much skin in the game. It's kind of a comfortable way of doing it. You can set a scheduling date. I don't set end dates, because every time I have set an end date, you can't go back and edit it. So once the campaign is over, it is over. And then you have to remake the campaign if you want to continue it. So I usually just leave this open-ended. And when I'm done, I just turn the campaign off. So we're going to create an audience. Okay, so to find places to market to, what I normally do is I go to my Spotify account. Now, if you're not getting too many plays, I wouldn't worry too much about this. But these few countries that we're going to pick here are going to give you a good idea of who and how to target. So I usually just start at the top of the list. United States, boom, already have it. Germany, okay, we'll add Germany. France, we'll add France. And Mexico. So we're actually going to save places like Mexico for a different ad set. So remember earlier on, I shorthanded, I did HC for high cost. So these are my high cost countries. So places like the United States, Canada, Germany, France, they cost more per conversion than a place like Mexico, Brazil, where it is less expensive to market to those countries. So Facebook is going to encourage you to combine these all into one ad set. But if you're marketing to Spotify, you kind of want to mix the countries because you are going to make more per stream from streams in the United States than you will per stream from users and listeners in Mexico. I like to try to have an even distribution of all of those targeted countries. One, it's going to maximize the number of plays you get, your retention rate, and also maximize the cost of your ads while still reaching the most amount of people. So just keep in mind, high cost countries and low cost countries, separate ad sets. So you can go through your whole Spotify and just find places like the United Kingdom, Canada, Sweden, Netherlands, Australia, New Zealand. Those are all going to be high cost countries. Add them to this list. Scroll down. Age group. Now, my listeners are mostly between the ages of 24 and 35. I like to include 18, just to get a few more, a little broader, right? So I'm going to go 18 to 35 there. And then we're going to go down here. Now, this is where ads get really interesting, right? So right now we targeted location, age, genders. You can pinpoint a specific gender. I know about 90% of my audience is male. However, I do like to leave this open-ended. So for this, we want people who specifically have Spotify as an interest. Now we can narrow this down. So now we have all these people who are in those locations who like Spotify, but in addition to liking Spotify, they also have to like electronic music, because that's what I make. I make electronic music. And field of study employee, we're going to do interest. Okay, electronic music as an interest. And you can see our audience size, 26 million to 31 million. That's perfect. Going down, and then you can save this audience. So say you run this ad and this is converting really well. You can save this audience, use it for another campaign later on. As far as now, advanced placements, this is going to let Facebook place the ads wherever it wants. Now, there's a few places I found to avoid. So in-stream ads are usually pretty high cost. Search results are high cost. Ad and app sites are high cost. Now, if you had a more specific product or service that you were selling, maybe these would make sense. But as far as music, I find that Instagram, Facebook stories, Messenger stories are not good. Reels are a little more expensive, but they're kind of up and coming, so I still like to experiment with those. Facebook feed's good, Instagram feed's good, Instagram profile feed is good, Marketplace is bad, video feeds are not good, right column isn't good, explore. Okay, so really what we're advertising to are Facebook, Instagram posts, along with Facebook and Instagram stories. That's pretty much what we're maximizing here. Lately, I've only been doing stories. Those seem to be the cheapest per result. But lately, my stories have been costing a little more than normal. So I'm jumping back into experimenting with the feeds. So it's kind of a constantly evolving thing. You just got to play around with it and figure out what works and when those tactics are working. So we're going to go next. So the way it's set up, you have your campaign, right? Underneath it, you have your ads, your ad sets, which are going to be your audiences. And in ad sets, you can have a bunch of different audiences. And then within an ad set, you have your ads. And within an ad set, so right now we're targeting a bunch of high-cost countries who like Spotify and electronic music. Within that category, we can have a few different ads to test to see what in that audience performs the best. So for this, we're going to go test. Spot, electronic, high cost, and then underscore, and then I'll say the type of ad. So for this, maybe in this ad, it's the drop of the song that I'm, maybe it's the drop of the song that's playing in this ad. So I'm going to manually upload. So add video. So the ideal situation is you've taken your ad and you've made it outside of Facebook to maximize it. Now keep in mind, we did feeds and stories. So that's going to require two different crops. Feeds are going to be vertical. I'm going to show you here. So this is the crop for what would be in a story ad. Yeah, and you can ask Facebook to crop it, but it doesn't look right. You want to make the ads for what their intended purpose is. You don't want to like try to repurpose it within Facebook. It just never really looks or feels right. So I only did story ads for this one, so I don't have a square one to show you. But you would also upload that to this ad and make sure, it's pretty much the same ad. It's just scaled properly, right? Going down. Now, primary text, headlines, descriptions do not show up in story ads, but they do show up in posts. So this is a good idea to fill out, come up with some catchy headlines, say something like digital music to launch you into the future, or whatever. Now, before I even make these ads, I have all of this listed out on a document, so I can really just plug and play. And then in that document, I can write down the statistics of the performance that I'm seeing from all of these. Now here, our call to action is going to be listen now, because that's what we want people to do, right? Listen now. And you can see it populate here. Digital music to launch you into the future. Listen now. Here, this URL is going to be where you add your link to the song. And then the display link, I usually leave something a little simpler. Like I'll go toast.com/digital dreams. Okay, so this is what people are actually going to see here. You can see toast.com/digital dreams. Having your URL on here will increase conversions. So it's just a small thing to keep in mind. It's not a huge percentage. I would say probably 4 or 5% more conversions having your own URL. But if it's going to increase conversions, you might as well have it. See the pixel. You can kind of double check everything here, and then you can go and publish. I'm not going to hit publish because I don't want to start marketing something that I don't fully have set up. But what we're going to do is go take a look. So what we've done is, this is kind of the global view, if you will, of your ads account. So we created a campaign for a song to test campaign. Within that, we created an ad set. Now that you created a high cost ad set, you can go ahead and duplicate it, and we can now create that low cost country ad set that we talked about earlier. So go there. I'm going to change the name just so I know what it is when I am viewing my ad sets. We are going to go here. We're going to change all the countries. And I believe we talked about Mexico and Brazil earlier, so we'll add those. Mexico, Brazil. Now, when you start these campaigns, you're going to notice quite a substantial difference. The first world countries, the high cost countries, are usually going to run twice as expensive as the low cost countries. That's okay. You make more per stream on those high cost countries than you do on the low cost, but you get more streams for those low cost countries. So ends up evening out. So it's just good to be able to market to both. So this is a low cost country ad. And we don't really need to change anything here. So again, we're going to go back one more time. So the campaign is a song test campaign. We're going to move into the ad sets where we have a high cost and a low cost audience. We're going to look at the high cost ads. Within here, you can duplicate these. So this is the test Spotify electronic high cost country drop. So the drop is the part of the song that's playing in the ad. You can test different parts of your song. So maybe you're doing the intro, maybe you're doing the first drop, maybe on the third ad you're doing the second drop. Or maybe you have a different visual going on. Maybe one, you have the album art, one, maybe you're singing in the song, maybe there's a performance video of it. And testing those ad creatives are going to help you refine your ads and figure out what works best as well. So that's pretty much the gist. Start at $1 a day if you're feeling a little timid about it. If you feel a little more confident, maybe you're going $5 or $10 a day. Maybe you really have the hang of it, and maybe you're running $100 a day in ads. I don't know. But with this, you can get started today with Facebook ads, and you can start driving more traffic to your Spotify account to get more streams and ultimately start kind of making money with your talent. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe. If you need to set up a Facebook Pixel and a toned in account, you can find that video down below. And with that, have a good day.